Something like that.
What's up, fight fans? This is the Combat Connection, and we are live on the Cageside Press social media platforms. I'm Brett Cagle, joined as always by Eddie Law, and we've got a loaded show for you guys today. First, we're going to review the UFC Fight Night card from Brazil last weekend. Eddie, Charles Oliveira gets back in the win column as a betting underdog. We both predicted him to win, and we both predicted him to win by submission. What did you think of his performance getting back after it in front of the hometown crowd?
I think my guy got me a free case of beer, and I'll tell you why. My boys were asking me, who you want to bet on this weekend? If there was one guy to bet on, I'm like, Charles fucking Oliveira. And like, why? I'm like, because Gamrot's a bit, nah, he ain't a bitch, no. Gamrot, he just, how do I put it? I've never been sold on him, but on top of that, it's short notice, right? That's so many fights were against Gamrot. He was betting that Charles Oliveira's chin was still busted. That man didn't even bother throwing too many hands with Gamrot. That was straight up on the ground, and he's just a killer. How many submissions does he still holds the record, right? Most submissions?
Still holds the record and extends on it after this weekend. And the thing with Gamrot, I think you're right here, Eddie, is that he's having problems finishing fights, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he can't knock guys out on the feet necessarily. And when he gets to the ground, he does a good job of controlling, but at times he gets reversed, just like we saw last weekend with Charles Oliveira. Mm-hmm. We both like Charles because he was bigger. He had a bit higher chance of finishing the fight if it went to the ground and if it stayed standing. I thought that Charles was probably the better striker altogether anyway. Couple that with Mateusz Gamrot taking this fight on short notice and Charles having a 3-month training camp coming in here, and fighting at home. I was just really surprised that Charles came in as a betting underdog last week, but it was good to see him get back in the win column. And Eddie, the call out from the former champion was Max Holloway, the BMF title holder. What do you think of that potential matchup there?
I love it personally, but I'll tell you why. I love it because, and I gotta give props to my boy Daniel Cunningham out of Kansas City. He's also a journalist. Sorry, brother, I forget what outlets you work for. All I know is you cover the Yankees and you cover fighting. Anyway, but and which, by the way, that's hilarious, the Yankees. But he came up with a good idea, which I thought, man, that kind of makes sense. If you roll, because I'm not convinced that Chandler Connor is going to be in the White House. I'm not, and I don't want to turn into the White House podcast again because we did that shit like last 2 or 3. Yeah. But if you do this fight, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, we still got plenty of time for we even get close to the Supreme Leader's birthday where he wants to have that fucking fight card and may praise himself the whole time. Like that is plenty of months, right? You do that fight sooner than later, right? Winner gets Connor for the BMF belt, then you could throw that shit on the main event. It'll be a little silly to all of us that are hardcores, but the rest of the mouth meters, they'll buy it, right? It'll be
that would be interesting, and it's against two guys who, just like McGregor, started their careers at 145 pounds, right? He's not coming in against a big 155-pound prospect. Somebody, I think that's a decent idea, and he could come back against them at the White House card, like you're saying, for the BMF belt. I think that's a good idea. And I've gone sour on the Chandler matchup, Eddie. I don't want to see it anymore. I think that it's just. It's too overblown. It didn't happen the first time, and I think it's sour milk at this point.
I'm just tired of Michael Chandler. But the best part to me would be 2 non-Americans in the main event. Hey, hold on a second. Do you think they'll create their I forgot that group. The group that's doing they're making their own halftime show, the All-American halftime show. You think they'll do their own fight card because it's not Americans in the main event? How can you have no Americans in the main event at the White House? I'm just clowning on everybody today. All right, don't get offended, people. I'm clowning everybody today.
If we get the heavyweight title contested at the White House, hopefully that's John Jones, Tom Aspinall. I could very easily see the BMF title being the co-main event, which I think will probably end up happening. McGregor's going to have to bite the bullet here eventually, right? He got suspended. He hasn't fought in 3 years. He's not been champion for a long time. You're going to have to be in the co-main event. I'm sorry. Eventually, guys like Anderson Silva, Brock Lesnar had to move down the card as well. It's that time in Conor McGregor's career. He's going to have to take a back seat at some point and help the promotion build stars moving forward, which would be Tom Aspinall if he got into a matchup with Tom.
And that's what we want. That's what we want. The main event we want to see is not Conor fucking McGregor. It's Johnny Bones Jones.
I think it'd be a beautiful addition to the card if he's fighting an Oliveira or
yeah.
But the main event, I don't see that right now. But for Charles Oliveira winning at home last week, Eddie, do you think he can get back to a title shot here at 155 pounds, right? Because just the way that fight ended with Ilia Topuria was so definitive, knocked out unconscious. We haven't seen Charles lose like that before. If he goes in there and beats a guy like Max Holloway, maybe he goes into a McGregor fight. But, in all reality, he probably doesn't. How many wins do you think he is from getting back into contention after just being defeated, previously last time out by the champion?
So Charles Oliveira is number 3 ranked now, right? I think he was lower than that, or he was 8 or something. I don't know what he was last time, but he's number 3 now. Okay, as of this moment, he's number 3. Above him, Arman Tsarukyan, who the UFC is soured like crazy on because he rolled with Nina, broke his back, and then Islam Makhachev.
Arman beat Charles too.
Exactly. And so then you got Arman, and you got Islam Makhachev is number 1, but he's moving up to the welterweight to fight JDM for the title. So don't even count Islam. So if I'm the UFC and I'm like, who do I put in against Ilia? Now Ilia did flatline Charles Oliveira, no question about it. I think two fights for Charles, 2 wins, and in my mind they got to be finishers. You got to really prove that you can threaten Ilia somewhere, because they're gonna give it's gonna be more than likely what they're saying Gaethje, and which okay, cool, violence for that first Paramount Plus card, right? And then they're gonna have to decide between Arman. Did they give Arman a fight?
Arman and Dan Hooker, but that leaves Paddy Pimblett and Gaethje without opponents. What do you do? So if Gaethje goes in, not if they give Gaethje Ilia. They do Gaethje Ilia that first pay-per-view. Do you give Charles then to Paddy?
I'm not against it. For Paddy, massive opportunity to show he's the guy. Like, what other argument would he need other than I just smoked your former lightweight champion? Give me Ilia. One more. And for Charles, I just took your guy out who you've been pushing like crazy. Give me all this publicity, all this push for. I just smoked him. Give me my title shot. I think winner gets that title shot because everybody else is busy. They get lucky at that point.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of great matchups on the horizon for Charles Oliveira, who puts himself back into contention with a win over Mateusz Gamrot last weekend. Eddie, quickly for Gamrot, is this the end of the road of his title pushes towards the belt? He's gotten up there in times and he's lost fights to Dan Hooker. He's lost other fights while he's made title pushes in the past. Do you think this is one of those times where he's going to have to go to the back of the queue and take on unranked contenders, maybe next man up in that lightweight division, whoever that is outside the top 15? Do you think it's maybe a step back in competition for Gamrot in his career right now?
Absolutely not, because everyone look, and Charles said in that post he made like, or that thing he put in his story like 2 days before Gamrot took the fight. He said, "Don't come out and say you'll take the fight, and then we offer you the fight, and you want it 3 rounds, you want to change this, you want to change that. Never mind, not enough time." Gamrot didn't do any of that. Gamrot says, "I want Charles Oliveira. Give me Charlie. I will give you the UFC a solid," and he did. He has earned at the very least to stay in the same spot he's in, just a win away, or maybe 2 wins away. But in terms of sending him back to the back of the line, I don't buy it. I think you got to give that man props for showing up to another country on short notice against one of the baddest dudes to ever do it. So no, to me, Gamrot, no. I think to me, Gamrot's maybe a fight, maybe 2 fights away from making a real case.
I'd like to see him maybe move back down the rankings and fight a guy like Renato Moicano or Beneil Dariush. Maybe one of those guys comes up.
But he better finish him. Yeah. He cannot nut hug the entire fucking fight, take a decision and be like, give me the champion. Fuck no, dude. You ain't even come close to a title shot with that.
Yeah, and we've seen it too many times at this point.
Right.
But for Charles Oliveira, great win. We got to move on here. Another former champion, Deiveson Figueiredo, gets back in the win column versus streaking contender Montel Jackson, who a lot of people, me and Eddie included, were highly touted. Thought he had a lot of potential coming into this weekend, was riding a massive win streak, and just had a dominant victory at UFC Iowa, where Deiveson Figueiredo blew his knee out in that fight with Corey Sandhagen. Some people thought he was coming back too soon. Was a massive betting underdog this weekend against a larger fighter. Comes in here, Eddie, and gets the job done by split decision. First, before we get into the analysis, what did you think of the scorecards here? And did you have this one for Figueiredo, or was this home cooking and you had it for Montel Jackson?
I had unanimous for Figgy. Look, we haven't said this many times before. Figgy fought smart. It's not a Figgy thing at all. Figgy gets in there the second he gets cracked, he wants to put on a show, and he throws heavy, crazy stuff. He was technical. He got out of range when he needed to. He got back into range at the right time. It was just, and then he shot his shots. His takedowns were freaking great. Like, it was a really good, smart fight by him. Did he kill him? No. Did he finish him? Absolutely not. But I think he dominated. It should not have been split. My mind should be unanimous.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought that the grappling was, like you were saying, he was dominating in the grappling. And Montel Jackson, when he's on the feet, normally at range, he's very dangerous. We've seen him knock out jiu-jitsu guys in the past, like Damon Blackshear, and have tremendous success against like Daniel Marcos. Last time out, Daniel Marcos 17-1, another highly touted prospect. But Deiveson Figueiredo goes in there and shows experience and a superior grappling game, able to get this one done by decision. Eddie, it looked like to me, once that first takedown landed by Figueiredo, Montel Jackson was a little gun shy on the feet. He was kind of too scared to overextend and get taken back down. It seemed like the threat of the takedown really opened up some of the hands for Figueiredo as well. Is that kind of what you saw? I
agree on that. And a lot of it was Montel's technical with the striking, right? But when he wants to throw that nasty, I think it was he has a nasty right hook, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Southpaw left. Southpaw, he does have a good right hook from southpaw.
Right. So the left, right? He likes to throw that thing with reckless abandonment. And he did a handful of times. He got taken down almost every single time. So 100%, dude, he got gunshot quick because he's like, I throw this shit right here. And if I don't land it like clean, I'm getting taken down. And I got to do this shit all over again. We only got 3 rounds to do this shit with. And so he got gunshot, tried to be technical. I think he got so many things came up in his head. He just haven't any answers to everything. So no adjustments whatsoever. He didn't adjust a damn thing. Not fucking anything. Figgy didn't need to. And I'm just like, the whole time sitting there like, Montel, who the hell is your coach? Why the hell ain't he telling you? All right. To do something, switch stances, shoot on him for, at the right, do something different. Nothing. He did nothing different. Try the same shit over and over again. Definition of insanity.
Well, for Figueiredo, it was a really big win. To your point about Montel Jackson and the game plan, I would have liked to have seen the jab established a little bit more.
Way more.
Such a big reach advantage on Figueiredo. And Figueiredo really struggled at range against Sandhagen before Sandhagen took him down, especially with the quick jab of Sandhagen. So I would have liked to have seen that from the southpaw stance with Montel Jackson. I think, did you have Figueiredo winning last weekend? I know I had Jackson, but
I had Figgy by decision.
Did you? So you actually won on this one, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, no. Oh, on the Charlie one, by the way, I was talking about the bet. Sorry, the Charles Oliveira bet. My boys was like, who should have bet on Charles Oliveira? And one of my boys put a good amount of money on it, and he won quite a bit of money. So I got a 24 case of Dos Equis in my fridge now. Hey,
there you go. There you go, man. But for Figueiredo, this is a big win for him. At bantamweight here, Eddie, what would you like to see next for Deiveson? Obviously, he just lost to the number 1 contender, Corey Sandhagen, who lost for the title, no longer the number 1 contender. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But for Figueiredo, is there a name out there that you would like to see him fight next? I know he's close with Henry Cejudo, but we just had a matchup between Cejudo and Talbott get announced. Maybe it feeds into the winner of that. But is there a name out there that you would like to see him fight at 135?
It's here to beat Cheeto. Jan's fighting Merab.
Yep.
Who's Sean O'Malley fighting?
That's the guy, man. Nobody's really. I think Sean O'Malley should fight Bryce Mitchell. I really do. I think that's grappler versus striker. You could sell it on the.
He'd have to go up to featherweight,
right? Bryce moved down.
Oh no shit! Bryce didn't even rank then. Okay.
No, he just beat Tagir Ulanbekov in his debut at 135 pounds. So yeah, he needs a ranked fighter.
Give me. Jesus, it's hard. I think Figgy's gonna have to chill out for a few minutes here. I don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, Iman Zahabi's fighting this weekend. David Martinez, I think, just fought. He's 11th.
At Noche, yep.
I don't know if he would fight Vinicius Oliveira. Would he fight him? I don't know. But
they're both from Brazil. I don't know.
I would call either Kyler Phillips or Marcus McGee because both guys will take a chance against this dude, and it keeps Figgy busy because she wants to be. And if you get to win against either one of those guys, cool. He stays in the same spot. Right, but then it kind of everything, the clock kind of resets, and you can get a better matchup.
What's Song Yadong up to right now? Has he had a fight get announced?
Oh, that's the rumor. Song and Sean O'Malley.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That's the rumor for Paramount Plus. I think they're talking about the rumor I heard. Illy, Justin, Sean, and Yadong on there.
What do you think of that fight?
O'Malley, Sean, it's about the right matchup, right? They haven't fought each other yet, and Sean needs a win.
Yeah, I think that plays into Sean stylistically pretty well there. But
very much.
Yeah. Moving on down the card here, Eddie, we did have the welterweight debut of Joel Alvarez, who carried his 6'3" frame up to 170 pounds, facing perennial contender Vicente Luque. Got this one done by unanimous decision, 30-26 on all judges' scorecards. What did you make of the welterweight debut from Alvarez?
Embarrassing. Completely fucking embarrassing. It was the first round, second round. The whole thing was crazy because, I mean, you saw the thing. You saw a fight where Alvarez hits him with left hand, and Luque is immediately, oh my, I got poked. They give him a timeout. Okay, cool. They go to replay. It was a punch. Sometimes that happens.
Should have been a finish.
Well, here's the thing: is they tell Luque, like, hey man, hey, that was a let's go, get ready. This motherfucker took a knee. You are a downed opponent. You just fell down. You got knocked down with that. You knocked yourself down, but you got knocked down. All right. At that point, if you refuse to stand up and fight, you took a knee. If you refuse to stand up and fight, that fight is done. It's over. That's a TKO finish. As bad as it would have been, it was a TKO finish. Joe Alvarez should have gotten a finish on that one. Right. Instead, the ref, for whatever fucking reason, restarts the whole thing, and we get a clown show after that because Joe Alvarez felt bad. He didn't want to hurt him anymore,
wasn't it?
No. It was one of the Brazilians, no?
Oh, was it?
I don't think it was Herzog. I might be wrong, but I'll look it up in a minute. But that dude restarts the fight, and then we got a shit show for the rest of the fight because Joe didn't want to hurt him. He like fucking Luque's eye was pinched shut. It was done. Couldn't see out of it. Yeah. For whatever reason, the doctor didn't stop it. Okay. But Joe Alvarez, he took it easy. I mean, he had him on the ground, ground and pound, but he's not even doing it. He's just kind of just hugging him. It was embarrassing. If I'm Joe Alvarez, I'm not happy with that. If I'm Luque, I'm incredibly embarrassed. And it's just the whole thing was just a shit show. And I hope I never have to see that again, ever.
Yeah, I was underwhelmed by the fight. I thought we were going to get two talented strikers in there slugging it out the whole time. And we almost did it first, but then after, like you're saying, right after that happened, there was kind of like a cruise control set for Joel Alvarez where Vicente Luque didn't put himself into danger enough to get finished. And Joel Alvarez, knowing that he was winning the fight, wasn't going to take any chances on his own either. So I really think that Joel just kind of cruised to a unanimous decision victory here. But like you, I was kind of underwhelmed by the whole fight altogether. What do you think of him at welterweight, though? I think that his frame looked well. I think that's probably a good home for him.
He looked healthy. He looked very, very healthy. He looked strong. He looked quick. He didn't lose anything. I want to see him against another welterweight, obviously another guy his size, maybe a little bigger, to see how he does. But I want to see. I don't need to see gun shy. I feel bad for my opponent Alvarez. I want to see. I'm gonna fucking kill you no matter what. I hope I hit both of your eyes with my thumb, motherfucker. How about that? Like I want that Alvarez.
Yeah, and that's the guy I thought we were getting moving up in weight from 155, but. Eddie, there's a lot of long guys at this weight class. Randy Brown, Kevin Holland's in a matchup coming this weekend. I think he's going to fit in well with his height and length at this weight class, and I'm excited to see who he fights moving forward.
Okay, I think you were right. I think it was Jason Herzog, which makes it way worse.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
So much worse.
Veteran referee, and he's been messing up recently. People haven't been paying attention, but Herzog's.
Look, with referees, it's like ebbs and flows. They either doing really good.
There's a reason Big John's coming back. These guys,
the sheriff is back.
Still do it comparatively to these guys. I mean, come on.
Why not?
If this is
he can definitely still do it if this is the kind of shit we're dealing with. I think Jason Herzog is one of the better referees out there. Him and Margado, to me, are the better ones. But that was a shit show.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on down the card here, though, Eddie, we did have a very big win, a statement victory from heavyweight contender Mario Pinto. It looks like we have a new fresh face here in the rankings come this week. He just got a TKO victory over Johnatan Diniz. We thought we were going to get a slugfest on the feet, but Mario Pinto showed how well-rounded he was in this one, took Diniz to the ground, put him in crucifix, and man, Eddie, some of those elbows were just vicious. I love the well-rounded style of Mario Pinto. Last time out gets the big baseball right hand knockout, from the overhand right. This time he shows his grappling and ground game, gets another knockout. What do you think we have a real contender here on our hands in Mario Pinto? And I've got a name who I'd like to see him fight next after your assessment of the fight.
Well, Diniz, I mean, the fight alone, it was a Mario Pinto classic. That's what he does, right? And I'm not convinced Diniz even belongs in the UFC. I know a lot of people do believe that he does. I don't think he does. So no, I don't put much stock in this one whatsoever. I'll give him this much. Mario did what he was supposed to do, is beat the guy and finish him. Just beat the dog shit. That's what he did. That's how it works, right? If you do what you're supposed to do, you get to step up, Mario. So now you get to step up. Who you got for him?
Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Fucking make it happen. I'm down with that.
I think that's the fight. You get a guy in Cortez Acosta who's kind of floating in the division right now. Everybody thought he was going to have this high knockout potential coming over from the sport of baseball, thought he was a good athlete. But in reality, we've seen a lot of decisions from the guy. He goes up against Sergey Pavlovich. That was one of the worst fights I've ever seen at heavyweight, especially between two ranked guys in the top 10. So I think that he needs to fight the next up-and-coming contender, the next hot prospect in Mario Pinto. Let's see what the baseball players got against a well-rounded martial artist, a young guy, a good athlete himself in Mario Pinto. I think that's a pretty good matchup.
I think it's a great matchup, and I'm down with it. And again, I like slow builds for young guys. Slow build them. We're not in a hurry. We don't need to throw them in there against a number 3 guy, no matter who he is. Certainly not against Marcin fucking Tybura. And like anybody but that dude, because that dude, no matter what ranking he is,
he's a prospect killer.
He's like fuck, I don't know how to put it, man. He's like the never mind. I'm gonna get canceled if I say that one. Anyway, he's just a fucking shit show. He's
like Neil
guy
Magny at heavyweight, you know.
At least Neil Magny fights though. Marcin takes you down and hugs you. He just tries to literally just belly hump you the whole time. That's the problem with Marcin Tybura. And then he wins doing it. No, slow build him, and eventually he will get a shot.
I was going to say Marcin Tybura is kind of like boa constrictor back in the day, Alexei Oleinik, but Alexei Oleinik actually finished fights impressively by submission. He was one of the best submission guys around. So.
Shit, that Ezekiel choke, you know how many times I tried to do that? I tried to do that shit and we tried to just drill it. I didn't even try to use it in a real fucking roll. And you know, I realized my arms are not long enough for that shit. That motherfucker, that guy probably tie his shoes standing straight up.
He would give up mount, man.
On purpose, because he knew he was going to get in. God, that guy was a maniac. And then he got knocked the fuck out in where did he go? He got knocked the shit out of him.
Some stupid stuff.
But it's because he needed the money because his wife left him or something like that. It's a crazy story.
But anyway, for Mario Pinto, you know, I really like this guy's potential. I think if he can get past a guy like Waldo Cortez Acosta or somebody like a Spivak or somebody in that mid-tier range at heavyweight, I think we're looking at a real contender on our hands. Eddie, we've kind of had fool's gold recently in this heavyweight division. We had Robelis de Spain come last year. Everybody thought he was the next big thing. We've had a couple other prospects. Do you think this is the next guy that is a for sure top 5 contender along this next generation, kind of with Tom Aspinall and Jailton Almeida?
Oh, absolutely. As long as you don't throw him in there with the Sharks right away, you're good. The best part to me about the whole damn fight wasn't even the fucking fight. Afterwards, telling Michael Vick, I don't speak English. And then he goes off with a perfect British fucking accent because, you know, he is. And so my favorite part was I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. One of my friends was watching at his house and he texts me. He goes, I thought he was going to start rapping. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you know how those Brits rap? Like, I thought he was going to start doing that shit. And I'm like, I'd have been great on the mic. You kidding me? I'd have loved that. But yeah, no, he's a whole package and it's great. Dude, if he ends up being really good and he speaks English, make it happen. Let's go.
Yep. So Mario Pinto is on the up and up. Going to have to keep an eye out on him for his next fight. Out there, fight fans. But Eddie, is there another fight on the rest of this card that we should talk about before moving on to some of the big news that Dana White dropped in the last couple of days?
Con Offley. Also, thank you, sir. You won my boy $500, not me, my friends. And let's see. That was all right. Palacio was all right. Lucas Russia was all right. Bia Mosquito coming out of LFA. That was dope. That chick's gonna be dangerous. Vitor Petrino, I was bored.
The face plant knockout on Thomas Peterson. I'll tell you what, it was a nice finish.
Forever.
Good for the highlight reel and all of that, but before the 2 rounds leading up to that knockout were 2 of the worst heavyweight rounds. It was like Pavlovich and Waldo Cortez Acosta that I mentioned previously. It was a lot of nothing, and it looked like Vitor Petrino actually had gassed heading into that third. I don't know how he pulled that combination out from what he was looking like on the stool. But what do you think of the fight overall, Eddie?
I forgot, but I'm pretty sure at the post fight they asked him about like. How long do you think it'll take to go to the fight or to the title fight? He goes, I think a couple more wins. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, you will gas.
He's 2 fights removed from losing to Anthony Smith.
My guy, he gassed out giving the fucking answer. You kidding me? He's not fighting for the title anytime soon. Get on your cardio game, my boy, because you are awful in that department. If you don't finish a motherfucker in the first 2 minutes, you are tired the rest of the fight. Give him, you know what? Give him Marcin Tybura. Let's punish this motherfucker.
I was just gonna say I think he loses to Mario Pinto.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Mario Pinto will crack his shit.
But this was a good win for Vitor Petrino.
And then
once a highly touted prospect at 205 pounds, everybody really had a big opinion of him, but after that loss to Anthony Smith, moving up in weight, at least he gets back in the win column, keeps things alive, moving forward. But
there you go. So
we did have some fight news this week coming from the boss man himself. Dana White had the announcement of a pay-per-view card headlined by Merab Dvalishvili, who's going to make the fast return, this time against a familiar opponent, Petr Yan, the second time. First time around, Merab broke the bantamweight take, I believe the UFC takedown attempt record for 56 attempted takedowns against Petr Yan, successful on 11 of them. Do you see this going any differently this time around?
No. No, fuck no, dude. He might break his record again. Shit. Yeah. It was Petr Yan hasn't changed his game, the way he fights at all. And last time he was already wary of the takedowns. This time he knows they're coming already. Like he already knows Merab's gonna shoot mercilessly. Merab's gonna run him over, maybe even finish him, honestly. And then and end his year on a high note. What, 4 title defenses in 1 year? Jesus.
Yeah, it's gonna break the bantamweight record.
Fucking crazy. Petr Yan, you better get a head kick knockout in the first minute, my boy, because it's over after that.
Yeah, I just don't see a path to victory for Yan, and they haven't came out with betting lines yet. But obviously on the feet, people are going to think, well, Yan's got the boxing background. He's got the fast hands. Maybe he can get something done there. But we just saw Merab go in there and almost knock out Corey Sandhagen. He's improving fight after fight on the feet himself. And when you couple in the threat of the takedown with the improving hands over there with Team Sarah Longo and Coach Ray Longo, I just think this might even, like you're saying, be worse than what we saw the first time around. We might see a finish this time from Merab, but Petr Yan is a hard guy to finish. I do like the fight, though. I think that it will be entertaining at least. And Petr Yan is not an easy guy to take down. Like I said, he took him down, tried to 56 times, only successful on 11 of them. But 11 takedowns is still 11 takedowns, right? So
still a lot. Yeah. No, it's right. My boy Parallel, Yan says no chance. Homeboy says Yan's gonna become the GOAT. My boy, the GOAT would have known not to knee a motherfucker in the head and lose his title in the most embarrassing way he could possibly think of. I'm just saying I'm just telling you. All right. He might win. He might not.
If he goes in there and shocks the world, though, Eddie, do you think they get a third fight?
Absolutely. But I'll give him all the props in the world if he does that shit. That's what he should be. That's the way he would win, by knockout. This dude. Hey, all right. I see you now. All right, Tyler. I got you. Anyway.
Yeah, I think Merab is probably the go to bantamweight right now. I don't know what he'd have to do to be the go overall. I don't know if he can.
Who's the go right now? Dom Cruz?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think he already passed him. I think it's over. I think he's the GOAT.
Yeah, I do too. One night, best bantamweight I've ever seen on one night was Cody Garbrandt when he beat Dominic Cruz. But Merab Dvalishvili is just, put it on people fight after fight. And his resume is the best that there's ever been.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
He KOs Jones. That's a good question. That's a good topic because but here's the thing. He's already lost. We've seen Alex Pereira knocked out. It's like, yes, his heights are as good as maybe anybody's heights in the history of the sport, but you can't go out there and just discount the losses that he had as well to Magomed Ankalaev and being knocked out cold by Izzy at 185 pounds. So if he does go become the first 3-weight champion, yeah, he's going to accomplish a feat no one's ever accomplished. But do I think that he's better than Fedor Emelianenko in his prime or Anderson Silva in his prime or John Jones 5 years ago? I don't. And I think that there's been some selective matchmaking because even the grapplers that he's faced, like Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz, are not really grapplers. So, I don't think we've seen him against a guy who can legitimately take him down and, put leather on him for a consistent amount of time. We will if he fights Tom Aspinall. So he's going to have to get through, in my opinion, Tom Aspinall to get to John Jones, but it is going to be an interesting path for Alex. We got
a lot to talk about in the next few months, man.
Jones has gotten whooped and somehow gotten decisions. He has, but he hasn't been knocked out cold like Alex Pereira, right? Alex Pereira was stiff put on the ground. There's been that visual. Even Anderson Silva when he lost the belt, right? Like he did lose, but he was sitting there playing around and stuff. So I think you got to look at each career a little differently. But Aspinall would become a D1 wrestler against Alex. Yeah, I think he would, and I think he'd probably be pretty successful with the jiu-jitsu as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But Eddie, there was another title fight on this card. We've got Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van. The upstart Joshua Van's been on a tear here recently. But Pantoja himself, he's turned back all contenders. Kaya Sakura, Brandon Moreno, all these guys. Pantoja is quickly becoming the second best fighter we've seen at 125 pounds outside Demetrius Johnson. But Joshua Van is very athletic. He's got the one-shot knockout power. He's got the boxing combinations, and he's got good takedown defense. Do you think this is a trap fight stylistically for Pantoja, or does the dominance continue?
No. The dominance continues. Look, I asked Pantoja at LFA 215 a month or two ago. I was like, "Hey man, you ready for Joshua Van?" And he said, "No, and he was very respectful. But that's how Pantoja gets you. He's not going to give you Baltimore material. He's not going to gas you up, but he's also not going to put you down. He's just like, no, he's really good. And yeah, he's a very big challenge. I got a lot to work on, a lot to get ready. That's the mindset of a champion that knows the next dude's dangerous. Like, I got to beat him no matter what. It don't matter what he does or what I need to make sure I make it happen. So, now I got Pantoja in that one. And again, we'll talk about it when 323 comes by in December. Mm-hmm. But it's I like the fight quite a bit. Joshua Van,
you got to credit the champion for taking on these new contenders, right? Kaya Sakura comes from a different promotion. Nobody knows him. Kaya, he couldn't have a whole lot of tape study on Kaya Sakura coming from Ryzen, right? Fighting from a completely different rule set. He says, I'm open to the challenge, bring him over, chokes him out in the second round. Now the new guy, Joshua Van, maybe the most dangerous guy, doesn't have the name value. We've got people in the chat here saying, Van, who is that? Credit to Pantoja, though. He's fighting the best challenger that there is out there for him right now and the most dangerous guy. So is Joshua Van someone who is a household name? No, he is not. But stylistically, when you look at this division, is he the guy out there who's maybe the best athlete with the best hips and the hardest to take down with, probably the best offense to come back at Pantoja? I think that he is. Yeah. So maybe we see Joshua Van upset Pantoja here in this one. He's going to be the bigger fighter as well, but that's what makes this fight so interesting. I think this is more of an interesting stylistic fight than one that's going to bring in a casual audience, but hardcore fight fans will be looking forward to that matchup. Another fight on the card there, Eddie, is the return of Olympic champion, former two-weight world champion, Henry Cejudo. He will be taking on Payton Talbott, who started his career well, right? He had the knockout win over Cameron Simon, looked impressive. But he got controlled on the ground in one of his recent fights, Eddie, and that's going to be a problem here against Henry Cejudo, in my opinion, who is probably going to try and put on a wrestling clinic against the youngster when he goes in here this time. I saw on a podcast where he said this is his last fight. He's kind of joking. He's like, but if I win, I don't know if it's my last, What do you think is next for Henry Cejudo? I don't think he goes out in a fight with Payton Talbott. I think that is kind of an anticlimactic end to a great career. And I think he gets a victory over Payton Talbott. So with a win, do you see him continuing his career? And what do you think of the fight overall?
No, I think it's it, dude. Honestly, this is it. Our boy Dylan Rush is going to have a lot of work to do for the next training camp. For the whole training camp, he's going to be busy. But I'm supposed to fucking see him this week or next week, so we'll see. But no, it's I don't believe he's going to keep going, man. Why? Like, for what? You know what I mean? Like, he's got business set up. He's got money. Right, he runs the gym or Fight Radio or whatever. I don't know exactly his role, whether he owns it or not, or part owner or whatever. But he's got plenty of things to go on, and he's fucking like 38, 39, whatever he is. He don't. What else is there to do? He damn sure nowhere near a title shot, right? Like, he's never gonna sniff another title ever. Not even if he somehow cuts one of his legs off and goes back to 25. It's not happening. So this has got to be it. I think he goes in there, he puts it on Talbot, gets a finish, hopefully, gets up to a grateful audience. Everyone claps. He puts the gloves down. Thank you, Cejudo. Enjoy retirement, my boy. And then he'll go do dirty boxing or some bullshit and make some more money.
Man, I'd hate to see it because, like, his last two fights, right? He fights Song Yadong.
Yeah.
Then he comes in here with Payton Talbott. Everybody wanted to see him in the big matchups. We wanted to see him fight Sean O'Malley. We wanted to see him fight all these other guys. I think he had a fight lined up. Who was he supposed to fight originally before Song Yadong? I thought he –
I don't know. Did the fight get canceled?
Anyway, like, I've just been really, not impressed with the recent matchups that they've given Henry Cejudo. He's a high-profile fighter. Why are they not matching him with other high-profile names?
Because he hasn't done very well in the last few fights. I'm playing it simple, right? After he lost the title to with O'Malley, no, who beat him for the title? Aljamain
Sterling.
No, Dominic Cruz beat him.
Yeah.
He
beat Dominic Cruz, and then he vacated and came back against Aljamain, but couldn't get the title.
Right. So Aljamain beat him. Merab mauled him. Song Yadong beat him with that was the IPO fight, right?
And he had to have surgery too. So
yeah, I mean, outside of that, I mean, he hasn't done well since 2020. Let's put it that way, right? You're talking about 5 years of losing. 5 years of losing. You haven't fight about high profile. You can say, I mean, by name, by accolades, but not currently. And currently, I'm not gonna say, hey, what's up, Mr. Beckham, my boy. But I'm not gonna say, sorry, Perlis says Cejudo's become a prince. I'm not gonna say that, but they're gonna put him on the main card for sure. But he's old. He's gotten older. That's all it is. Older, activity, damage, everything you want to call it. And I gotta say, Perlis not far off with this. How many guys with podcasts have we seen be champions? Sean O'Malley got a podcast, lost. Hammer Cejudo and Kamaru Usman had a podcast, lost. Who else? Jamal Hill, lost. You know who doesn't have one? Alex Pereira. Who does have one? Israel Adesanya. Who doesn't have one? Fucking you can say Tom Aspinall doesn't have one. He just does fucking shit online, on his Instagram. But you get my point. Like, I'm not saying that's
one foot out the door. Do you think he's got 1 foot out the door?
Cejudo?
Yeah. That's how I would describe it.
For the last 5 years?
He's got these other business ventures, like you're saying, the fight camp. He's got the podcast. It's probably, I mean, it's public information. They've got about 500,000, maybe more subscribers online. That should generate them a massive amount of money. I guarantee it, that he can, obviously support his family with. So he's got other avenues of business. Do you think he's got 1 foot out the door? And that's the reason that maybe he's been struggling.
100%. You know what? I'm starting to wonder if maybe Kelvin Gastelum has a podcast on the Food Network that we don't fucking know about, and that's the reason why he sucks. I'm irritated with that dude. He should be. That guy was the wasted career, man.
He had a lot of potential, man. I saw a picture the other day when he won the Ultimate Fighter, and he was weighing in with Mike Dolce. I think Dolce actually was the one who put it up on his Instagram.
Yes,
and he just looked like a completely different person. He was shredded.
He looked like a serious fighter that gave a shit.
Yeah.
After that, it's like. When I was competing heavyweight, right? Heavyweight in grappling, not in MMA. MMA, I was a light heavy, but it's like I was doing heavyweight because I didn't want to cut weight. That's all it was. You know what I mean? But it's what it is. Has gas, no work ethic. Yep.
Yeah. But all right. So we have another fight here. I don't know if this one is on that card as well, Eddie, but we had Sean Brady get announced against Michael Morales, the undefeated fighter.
That's
Ecuador. Going to be taking on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert Sean Brady, who just recently got a submission win over Leon Edwards.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting fight they made last minute for Abu Dhabi. I want to say 322, my bad, 322, New York, the New York card. So it's not like short notice. There's plenty of notice, right?
I got a problem with it, Eddie, and I got a problem. The same problem I have with this fight is the same problem I have with the fight we're going to break down in the main event coming up here shortly. And that's you finish a former champion, right? Yeah. Or in De Ridder's case, he beats a former champion in Robert Whittaker. You're now taking a maybe more dangerous fight, worse or farther behind in the rankings. De Ridder fighting Allen this weekend, and now Brady fighting Morales coming up. Why are they doing that, Eddie? I know it's to appease the promotion. I know the promotion's coming to them saying, hey, we got a spot here. Can you come in? Maybe they're adding a couple extra dollars to the fight purse, whatever it is that's making these guys take these fights. Why is De Ridder beating Robert Whittaker? He's going to get thrown into a fight with Strickland or Adesanya or whoever comes back that's a high-profile name. He's fighting Brennan Allen. Sean Brady just submitted for the first time ever Leon Edwards, first man to do it, comes in here and he's fighting Michael Morales, who casual fight fans do not know. Me and you know him. And honestly, he's one of the most talented guys in this entire weight class. He's hard to take down. He's a great athlete. Like I just said about Joshua Van, he's got tremendous hips. And he's someone that just like sprawls well, and he's a wily guy. He's hard to take down. This could be another trap fight, just like I think De Ridder might be in this weekend. What do you think's happening with these guys who make the statement wins, and now they're fighting guys who are less of a name and a worse of a ranking than people they've already previously beat? Because
he's ranked number 2 and he's not trying to fight down. Let's look at the rankings, dude. Like, I mean, to me, that's about the easiest way to put it. Bilal Muhammad's number 1. He's got to fight. JDM's fighting. Shabbat Raghunav, I'm not sure what he's doing exactly, but he already beat Leon Edwards. Kamaru Usman just fought in July. That means he's not going to fight for another 2 years.
What about Ian Gary? They've been
Ian Gary's about to be booked by someone else, isn't he?
I'll look it up real quick. But
he was talking about fighting somebody. He's going to get booked with somebody else. But after once you get past 6, though, if you're the number 2 guy, you're not trying to fight those guys. Michael Morales is number 8. He's just the guy that's available. That's the thing. He's available. He needs to fight. Sean Brady doesn't want to be. Look, in fighting, when you're a guy like Sean Brady, 2 things will kill you. Okay, inactivity and losing. He ain't losing. So inactivity will kill him, right? It'll take all his momentum. He's got to keep fighting. He gets to fight against a young guy, the number 8 ranked. It's a fight. You got to stay busy.
Ian Gary is the backup fighter for Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena.
There you go.
It's kind of why.
So there you go. Yeah, so that's why. But you're not wrong. It's like once you get up to like the top 5 range, it's really hard to stay active because everyone else is booked and busy, and then you got guys above you that don't want to fight you, right?
Yeah, I guess you're making a good point because you can either do it this way or you could do it the Movsar Evloev way, and look where it's gone for him. He hasn't got that title shot, so maybe you are right. You just kind of have to do what the promotion asks of you, I guess, at that point. So.
Yeah, no,
but it's unfortunate because you go and beat a guy that's a historic win. In my opinion, a finish victory over Leon Edwards or beating Robert Whittaker, I think those deserve title shots, or at least in De Ridder, we'll talk about De Ridder, a certain number one contender fight. And I don't think he's in a certain number one contender fight, but we'll get to that. But for Sean Brady, I think that he should be the guy who's the backup fighter for this right now. I think he should be the guy who's fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I know he had the bad performance against Bilal, and Bilal would just change the title, and it's hard to throw a guy in there, and up the rankings who had that bad finish loss to the champion. But I think as it looks right now, Sean Brady would probably beat Ian Gary with his jiu-jitsu, and he'd probably give significant problems to the current champion, Jack Della Maddalena. And I don't think that Islam Makhachev would have an easy time taking Sean Brady down either. In fact, I think it would probably be the opposite because Sean Brady's physically stronger. So I think Sean Brady is one of the most potential fighters that we have in the entire welterweight division. And I just wish that, Eddie, I think he could realistically lose this fight to Michael Morales.
He could. It could be a trap fight. I don't see it happening, but it could because Michael Morales is a dog too. And I know he's young and everything, but he's getting a huge step up in competition, but a massive opportunity to make something happen. Dude, Michael Morales wins this. Sean Brady loses out on a title shot. The Joanne Calderwood way, back in the day. Joanne Wood, Georgia Wood, whatever she called herself now. But she lost a title shot just like that, never fought for it. And so could be happening to Sean Brady too, but that's why that's why we play the game. And again, at the end of the day, this falls on the UFC for not giving but we're not giving deserved title shots. They keep doing this bullshit where they just want to, well, it's about entertainment. It's about entertainment. Sure. Then stop telling me you're putting the best against the best because you're fucking not. The best against the best should be Sean Brady for the title right fucking now. Yeah. Instead, we're going for shiny. Oh, look, Islam's moving up. Nah. It's
like Imavov, my boy Imavov I was talking about. When he submits Izzy, exact similar situation to Sean Brady. He has to go fight Kai Barallo. Like I knew he was probably going to beat Kai Barallo, but that was a tricky fight. That went to decision. Kai, lost the fight, but he looked all right. He put up a good effort, spirited, competitive effort. But in my opinion, Imavov should have already been fighting for that belt because of the significance of his win over Izzy in that finish. Same as Sean Brady with the significance of the win. He is better than him. He probably
I don't disagree.
On the feet, but we haven't even seen Islam fight at 170 pounds yet. I have to see him at this weight class before I can definitively say he's better than anyone at 170 pounds. That's a 15-pound jump as assumed to someone who fights at 135, moving up to 145. This is a more significant jump. He's 5'11". The guys in this weight class are 6'3". So we'll have to see.
End of the day, is what I'm saying is again, it's not the fight. It's a UFC. If you get, we fight the best, cool. Get him in there, right? Now, do I need to see Islam at 170 before that? No. But Sean Brady should have already gotten a fucking title shot. 100%. Sean Brady.
Anyone move up and fight for a belt? Yeah, we've seen him move. I don't understand the point here, Tyler.
Oh, no. He's saying you don't want to see it. No, that's not the point. The point is not we don't want to see Islam fight for a title. We absolutely want to see Islam move up for the fight for title. It's the whole point of the challenge.
I'm just saying that Sean Brady, in my opinion, should be here on a short line, especially once Bilal Muhammad was out of that title, right?
No, the point is
he matches up better with these guys than a lot of people.
The point is Sean Brady should have already fought for the title. That's the point. Not he deserves it more than Islam. Is he should have already gotten it. That's the point. Now we're gonna get Islam in there first. Who knows what's gonna happen? Probably beats JDM, whatever. And after that point, if I'm Sean Brady, I call him out. Imagine that. Sean Brady's gonna go hey, I want the feather in the cap. I want to fight the guy nobody else can beat. And I want to do for the title. Win-win. But he's going to have to finish his kid.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a big matchup. For Sean Brady and guys like Imavov, I just think that some of these guys that don't have the household name, maybe aren't the best on the mic, that they fly under the radar a little bit. And it's disappointing to see, especially when they finish former champions in historic fashion, the way those two guys did. But we've got a fight card to break down this week. Fight fans, we got de Ridder versus Brendan Allen, a ranked middleweight matchup here. 21-2, Reinier de Ridder comes into this one fresh off a win over Robert Whittaker, as Brendan Allen coming off a win 25-7. Eddie, we got two jiu-jitsu guys coming in this weekend. I think Brendan Allen is going to be able to keep himself safe on the ground versus de Ridder when it comes to the submission game, which means to me that this fight's probably going to be contested on the feet. Who do you think gets the better of this matchup in the striking?
De Ridder? He's a Dutch kickboxer, dog. He's gonna kill him.
He just got knocked down by Robert Whittaker. He didn't look that technically sound on the feet in that fight.
Sure.
And obviously Brendan Allen isn't the most impressive striker in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, I think de Ridder's going to win this fight regardless, whether it's on the ground or on the feet. I don't know if it'll be finished. It might be decision. But I think de Ridder's got too many weapons. And Brendan Allen coming in on short notice, a little iffy. But again, hey, you got to give it to Brendan Allen. Paul, I don't know if you watch any media day. Paul, apparently, and this is de Ridder saying it, Paul Costa wanted the fight. And he goes, all right, cool. And Costa goes, well, but I want to make it 3 rounds. What? I need to catch weight. And de Ridder's like, I'm moving on. And instead, he got a guy that's willing to show up and fight. So big ups to Brendan Allen, Paul Costa. You missed out, my guy. And so now I like RDR in this one, in the feet, on the ground. RDR smoked bow and Robert strikes. There you go. What is that? Sorry,
Brendan Allen. So on the feet, but de Ridder is better everywhere, and he's dangerous. Yeah, I think both these guys. Listen, I think Reinier de Ridder is just a little bit better than Brendan Allen at all aspects. I think they're very similar fighters, both good on the ground, both lengthy. De Ridder's a little bigger. He's got better knees in the clinch. But I think Brendan Allen is a very game competitor. He's not someone who's going to go out easy. He's got a good gas tank. And in that fight versus Robert Whittaker, we saw de Ridder fade a little bit late. He got knocked down in that 4th round by Robert Whittaker, kind of let him back into that fight. I think that, like I'm saying, this might be a trap fight. Sometimes these guys don't get up. Yeah. How if you're Reinier de Ridder, you obviously can get up for that fight with Robert Whittaker, right? You fight the former champion. That's somebody on your resume. Do you get the same level of adrenaline or same level of push in a guy like Brendan Allen if you're Reinier de Ridder, Eddie?
Does he want to push? I mean, what are you talking about? Is he
like I'm saying, you can get yourself up for Robert Whittaker, right? But can you get yourself up for Brendan Allen? Is it going to be an emotional letdown in this fight where he's like, all right, I'm fighting this guy, I should beat this guy, instead of, I'm fighting Robert Whittaker right now, I'm going to add this name to my resume.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you're get himself up for this matchup the way he was for Bo Nickel and Robert Whittaker.
You're wondering if de Ridder is going to develop Luke Rockhold-itis, basically.
See, Allen isn't firing anybody. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's
not,
but it really gets other fighters that excited. So that might be a little bit of an emotional trap for de Ridder, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't buy that because RDR is not emotional whatsoever at all. Like if you watched any of his fights and won, I watched almost all of them, especially the ones where he fought for. He was a 2-division champion, 1 championship, right? And he beat Aung Lan Song to take both belts off the poor guy, which is funny because now they train together. But and by the way, Brendan Allen also killed Cliff. So this is going to be a whole lot of what the fuck's going on. But when he was in 1 championship, he fought guys that he had no business fighting. Not in terms of like he wasn't up to par, as they weren't up to par. He went in there and fucked them up. So no, I don't buy that at all. I think he's going to be just fine in terms of that goes. Now here is going to be: are you going to make any mistakes to let Brendan Allen in the fight? You cannot let Brendan Allen stay in the fight. You can't. That guy is a Louisiana dog. He's not a punk. Brendan Allen is a tough motherfucker. He'll fight you in the octagon. He'll fight you in the casino. Martin Vittori got the hands, all right? And so I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Brendan Allen's going to scare him a little bit. But at the end of the day, I don't see how he beats RDR.
Yeah, I don't either. I do think Brendan Allen is tough enough to survive. I've got RDR by decision in this one. Eddie, which way are you going this weekend? Same
decision for RDR. And then he'll call for the title. He did say at media day. They asked him. I know you're not going to be happy about this. He goes, and not that happy, but what do you expect RDR to say? They asked him, like, well, what do you think? They asked him about Imavov and all that. He goes, yeah. RDR goes, Imavov's not getting a title shot. All right, he's not getting a title shot. I'm like, okay,
but what's he got to do? Who's he got to beat? God, like, what? Who's on the schedule for?
You know what I think it is.
He just finished Izzy, like he just.
You know what I think the problem is?
Baralo in his hometown, like.
I think the problem is he's not. Alex Pereira gets away with, and this is a stupid way to do it, okay? But marketing is important for the UFC. Trust me, okay? Alex Pereira doesn't speak a lick of English. Man, a couple words here and there. He's got to communicate with Nina somehow. But his performances speak for themselves. Imavov, you and I agree he should be next. Imavov is fun. Tyler hit it on the head. There's nothing about him that goes, oh shit, we got to see that dude. You and I, when we're hardcore, we watch his fights. We think he's talented and he deserves a title shot. And I agree with you on that. In fact, I think he should be now, right? The thing is this, it's not going to sell anything. With Khamzat Chimaev being so damn inactive, I think is the word I'm looking for, inactive, it's you got to make it count.
But here's my thing, Eddie. When did Marvin Vettori have aura when he fought Israel for the second time? When did Jared Cannonier have aura when he fought Israel? Like when are we giving guaranteed title shots to people who earned them like we used to? You know, this isn't a meritocracy. There is a ranking system for a reason, right? And we've gone through the ranking system since as long as I've been watching in the early 2000s. And if you're the number one contender, as Israel Adesanya was, when Imavov finished him, that normally means you're the new number one contender. Not only did he do that, he came back in and fought the guy everybody thought was the worst stylistic matchup for him in Kai Barallo for 5 rounds. So, I mean, I understand that he doesn't have the casual audience or the popular belief behind him. Oh, you look at him stylistically compared to Khamzat Chimaev, that is the toughest matchup for him, in my opinion.
You're preaching to the choir, dude. You and I both agree he should already be fighting for the title. Here's the problem. You're taking me back to 2016 when the UFC first sold controlling stock to Endeavor. That day, I shit you not, and Twitter, you know, Elon, just because it's you, fuck you guys for suspending my old Twitter account, because on that bitch, I had a tweet on there that said, today, on that day, I think it was July 2016, today, deserved and earned title shots are dead. It is fucking over. Now it's just about selling gold. That's all we're doing, baby. And what have we done since 2016? Sell gold. You cannot have, no matter how good Imavov is. The UFC doesn't want a guy that can't speak a lick of fucking English, is shit on the mic, and unfortunately, like Tyler says, has no real, like, no one cares about, right? You can't have that dude be champion. You can't. You can have RDR do it. RDR's funny, all right? Yeah. He's talented, all right? Decent looking dude. He has the whole package, and if he wins the title, whole package, all right? Keep in mind, we say all this shit, and they still got to beat a guy like Khamzat Chimaev that does one of two things. One, doesn't fight, or two, dominates. That's all he ever does.
Yeah. And, you know, I hate to see it, you know, we'll get off Imavov and move on to the rest of the fight, but I hate to see it because he's not doing what Evloev is doing, right? Evloev is sitting out and saying, you know, I'm going to fight once a year and picking his opponents and pulling out a fight. Imavov is going out there and doing anything they ask, and he's doing it better than they're asking him to do it. So I think that eventually you got to reward a guy like that. And, you know, eventually they did reward Bilal Muhammad. Eventually they did reward some of these guys that had to wait the 10 title fights to go. Leon Edwards to go and get his Merab. Merab, another great example. But we'll see. He'll have to earn it the hard way, kind of like some of these guys. But that is what makes the greats the greats. Yeah. But moving on down the fight card. Sorry.
Tyler just said some shit made me laugh. You guys, Magomed, the UFC literally gave everyone the division until the last person was Magomed and Kalai. Sorry, that's funny, but he's right.
Yeah. So moving down the fight card here, Eddie, we have a welterweight matchup, kind of a fun one here between Kevin Holland, who returns against Canadian standout Mike Malott. Last time we saw Mike Malott in Canada, I believe he was choked out by Neil Magny. He's going to fight another lengthy, well-rounded guy in Kevin Holland who can get it done on the feet and on the ground. Eddie, I got to tell you, I got Kevin Holland in this matchup. I don't care if this one's in Canada. I don't care if this is in the United States or on the moon. I think Kevin Holland is a better fighter than Mike Malott. I think he's better than him on the feet. I think he's better than him on the ground. I see him finishing this fight.
It's a much bigger fight for Mike Malott than it is for Kevin Holland. And I'll tell you what. First of all, Kevin, from now on, my boy, please, for now. Oh, my God, Beckham. Holland only wins when Trump is president. Damn, you're fucked, bro, because that dude ain't going to Canada ever. No, but Kevin Holland, my guy, from now on, when you go to media day, just do Marshawn Lynch. I'm only here so I don't get fined, because he gave fuck all answers, okay? I every time I watch that dude on media day, I've covered 3 of his media days, and every single time he gave us fucking nothing.
So's Malott.
Right. I mean, neither one of these guys are going to fight for a title. Right now, could Malott's younger, sure, but could he go make a run for a title and he just get some kind of momentum? Sure, anything could happen. Is it going to happen? Very unlikely. right? This is going to be a weird fight as usual. Hell, Kevin Holland might even pull up by submission. You never know.
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
And it might, right? But like you get just the way I see this fight is much bigger fight for Mike Malone than it is for Kevin Holland. And if Kevin Holland trap fight, if Kevin Holland shows up, now we're talking about a guy's. Can he get up for Brendan Allen? Can Kevin Holland get up for Mike Malone? We'll see. Kevin is one of those guys.
He has to coming off a string of recent.
I agree 100%. But if you see this guy, Kevin Holland can give a fuck about a title fight.
I know. Did you see his interview with the Nelk? The guy, I forget, OG, whatever his name is, Sean for the Nelk boys. He was sitting there saying, like, "What'd you do for this training camp? Did you do anything different to see, for Mike Malott?" He goes, "I thought I was fighting Jake Matthews until last week." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "So did you watch tape at all?" He's like, "No, I don't watch tape, man. I show up, I smoke weed and show up to the gym, and then I go home and I smoke weed." And it's like,
I hope they got their money's worth for that interview.
God, dude. Like,
Kevin Holland.
He doesn't even know he's fighting until he shows up. Like,
I'm just telling you right now.
He is a better. It's hard for me to bet on the guy, like when he says shit like that. But he's such a good athlete, and I've seen Malott struggle against Neil Magny. It's no disrespect to Neil, and Neil is technically a much better. He's smarter than Kevin. He's probably better cardio, better technical fighter. They're different fighters, but I think that some of the problems that Mike Malott had against Neil Magny are going to present themselves in this fight as well. Malott's going to go for takedowns like he did against Neil. Neil had a lot of success with those darces and long arm chokes that reversed position on Malott and tired him out. I think that Kevin could even get him with some of those chokes as Malott came in. And if it's on the feet, Kevin's longer, 6'3" to 6'1". You see it here, 81 inches to 73 inches. And Mike Malott's got to worry about a guy in the southpaw stance. So I'm going to take Kevin Holland in this one. I don't know if he's in a knock. I'll take submission, but I like him by finish either way.
Kevin Holland could win. I think if Kevin Holland wins, it's going to be by submission, 100%. All that being said, I think at Maple Trees, my boy, I think Mike Malone is going to pull up the win of his fucking career, all right, and get a big fight next. Whether he wins that one or not, I don't know. But I think Mike Malone is one of those guys right now. And I know because we're here and then not in Canada, we don't get a lot of it. His brother's making the friggin' NHL. They're talking about his brother on there. Like, people don't think about the fact that this will this will change like your aura, your mindset, your motivation, whatever. There's a lot riding on this for Mike Malone in my mind. And with all this momentum that he and his whole family at this point have, I think he's a dangerous guy. And again, this has nothing to do with that. That's just not going to make your fist more deadly. It's not going to make your wrestling better. It's not going to make your jiu-jitsu better, 100%. But there's something to be said about aura and motivation and all this kind of stuff that goes with it. And I think Mike Malone's going to pull off a huge upset in this one and get the decision in this. But we'll see, man.
Yeah, and Mike Malott did just beat a guy who I picked to beat him recently in Charles Radke. He fought Charles Radke, one-punch knockout power from Chuck Buffalo. I thought he was going to lose that fight. Goes in there and knocks out Charles Radke himself. So Mike Malott did look better since those in his last two fights since the loss to Neil Magny. But I believe Yves Edwards.
It's Yves Edwards.
The Thug Jitsu, correct?
Yeah. It's Yves Edwards.
Who took it on? I think a couple people. Yves Edwards has done it. Din Thomas has done it. And Crazy Horse Bennett, I think.
Crazy Horse Bennett. God, that guy's a psychopath. Is he still fighting? He's not nutty.
I think he's sticking around.
He's a psychopath.
A year ago.
He's a psychopath. All right. By the way, thank you, BKFC, for not letting Frankie Edgar fight. I know Frankie's mad, but Frankie, you'll be happy later on.
Yeah, you're right there, Tyler. But
is he really?
A lot, though, we can focus on what his job is and his career. But moving on down the card here, Eddie, this is a big matchup, maybe even a bigger matchup than the Mike Malott one. Obviously, Malott's fighting at home, but so is Amin Zahabi taking on Marlon Chito Vera, the former title challenger. Zahabi had that win over Jose Aldo. He's looked great in this weight class moving forward. The brother of Firas Zahabi, the former coach to George St. Pierre, Rory McDonald, all the Canadian greats that we've seen in the past. Eddie, what do you make of Amin Zahabi's career? He is 37 years old, making his first title push. But obviously, this is a successful run that he has been on. Marlon Chito Vera, to me, in this one, has struggled with guys who can put more output on the feet than him. Volume has killed Chito Vera, especially in his fights versus Sean O'Malley and other contests like against Corey Sandhagen. He was just out-volumed by those guys, right? In that fight with Rob Font, great example. He ended up winning that fight, but he had to score 3 knockdowns in 3 rounds to win that fight. His creativity and the devastating strikes that he does throw can win him fights by knockout. But if they go to decision, it seems like he's losing all these fights. Amin Zahabi is a decision fighter. I think he wins this one by decision. Technically kickboxes Marlon Vera at range the entirety of the contest. I don't see Chito Vera trying to take this fight to the ground ever. I'm going to go with Amin Zahabi by decision. How do you see this fight, Eddie?
I agree. I agree with it. So Zahabi he's on a tear. He's got momentum going, everything. Hold on, let me get this real quick. First of all, not that one. Tyler, what do you mean he's set for life? I'm not sure. What is this? Do you know what his family does?
His brother's in the NHL. I think his brother is pretty rich.
I really highly doubt it. NHL guys don't make that much money. I think they'd make more than we think.
Not
him. He's not known. He's just,
really? It's not like his brother's the star of the team or something.
Well, his brother's not fucking Ovechkin or fucking who's the other guy? Crosby. They ain't making hundreds of millions. He ain't got no fucking. He's not making millions, bro. He's making at best. Okay, nah. This is not nothing.
Let's look it up.
He's probably making like $2 million. There's no way he's making more than that. He just got there, right? He just got to the pros. There's no way he's making millions.
2-year, $1.55 million.
Okay, add on top of that taxes in Canada. And on top, yeah, but he's not that. Okay, minimum wage, sure, but that's not rich. Not in this economy. Certainly not in Canada. If he's got to take that money back to Canada,
make his own bag off of that.
You
got to add a zero before.
Yeah. No, I thought. Okay, my bad, Tyler. I thought you were saying his family has some kind of thing going. I'm like, what do they do? That's crazy. I never knew about that story. No, he don't make that much money. No. Now, if his brother gets really good, the best players in AHL, they get the bag 100%. You'd be right at that point, 100%. But he just got to the NHL. He ain't making that much. Yeah. That's not nothing. 100%. That's not nothing. But come on, taxes and everything. And I love this comment. Zahabi's Ariel Hawani's A-list. Dude, it looks like, honestly, I'm like a motherfucker.
If Ariel got on the juice and was actually active.
Yeah. I know, right? Zahabi actually knows fighting. So, yeah, but they don't live together, bro. They're adults, my guy.
Yeah, it's
all right. It's not the same thing. But I get what you're saying. I get what you would think that 100%. No question about it.
But Eddie, I got Amin Zahabi in this one, man. I really think that the technical striking and the volume's gonna be too much in this one.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, we have an interview with Gumby, Danny Vreeland, our guy, our top turtle. We had an interview. I'm actually uploading that tonight with Amin Zahabi talking about all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye for that.
Yep. Is that gonna be on our YouTube page?
It'll be on YouTube page either tonight or tomorrow morning. It's depending on work. I got a shit ton of fucking. As soon as the show's over, I got a fuck ton of work to do, bro. We got media day today, all kinds of stuff. Twins, yeah. Ariel knows fighting. That's about as bad. That's about as much as he knows.
Another fight on this card, Eddie. We've got Manon Ferrot, the French standout, returning against Canadian Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jasmine looked really good in her last couple contests. Obviously, Manon Ferrot was unsuccessful in her last fight versus Valentina Shevchenko for the belt. But for Jasmine Jasudavicius, comes into this one at a 14-3 record, Eddie. She's got some really good submission wins, win over Mayra Bueno Silva and some other girls as well. Do you think that Jasmine can come in here and kind of shock some people and get rid of Manon Ferrot?
Jasmine's been proving everybody wrong the last 5 fights. All right. Cachoeira, Fatima Klein, Lipsky, MBS, Andrade. She's just beating everyone they put in front of her. She says no to nobody. She takes any fight that you give her, and she fucking wins it. That is what it is. Manon Ferrot got proved, and I'm not going to call her a fraud because I think that's the dumbest fucking thing to call anybody that actually puts in effort. Look, if they're doing something that you can't fucking do, shut the fuck up. 100%. Just shut up. All right, because you can't call anyone a fraud because your ass couldn't do it. So maybe you're the fraud for talking about it. But
she lost to one of the. She lost to a top 2 women's
fighter. Bad motherfucker. 100%. She is not a fraud. That being said, this fight is either Jasmine is upsetting her and making her way up because who else is he going to fight? Put in there a title fight next, or Manon becomes the gatekeeper. That's it. I think so too. That's all that happens.
Fight fans, we have not. We need to look at the odds here. The UFC has not been putting them up on the official webpage. We're sorry for that. We will run through the odds quickly for you guys.
There are no odds on this fucking page.
Yeah, odds. It's a damn shame. But.
Hey, I'm expecting a Don Davis tweet. I'm saying, dude, you're 100%. I'm telling you, 100% agreed. Calling someone a fraud for losing a title fight is insanity. It's fucking stupid. Anyone calling a professional anybody a fraud, eat it. That's you know what that is? That's a better term. That's what's fucking
It
better.
is. That's when you lose money.
Yeah, I hope you bet your fucking mortgage on it, bitch. You're not having a mortgage. If you're talking like that, you don't have a mortgage, bitch. I hope your rent goes up.
Rent, yeah. But speaking of betting, fight fans, we got to run through real quick what we got for the money lines. In the main event, we have Reinier de Ridder minus 210, slightly over a 2-1 favorite over Brendan Allen. Me and Nate.
Little surprised.
Pretty good. I think those pretty good odds.
I mean, I think it's good, but I'm a little surprised not more.
Yeah, I am too. Maybe it was like 2.5, 3-1.
Yeah.
For Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott, pretty much an even money matchup. Plus 100 for Kevin Holland, so you can double your money. Minus 120 for Mike Malott at home, slightly favored by odds makers. In the fight we just talked about, another even money matchup. Very close in the lines here. Plus 115 for Marlon Vera, minus 135 for the home favorite, Amin Zahabi. In this one, we have Manon Fiorot minus 235, while Jasmine Jasudavicius comes into this one as a 90 betting under.
Well, take me to betting school. Do these odds change depending on how much money people put into the guy?
Based on how the public bets. So say if you come in right now and put $10,000 on Manon Fiorot, that minus 235 might move up for everyone nationally to, well, it depends on which sports book you use, from 235 to like 238.
Okay.
But if if money keeps coming in on it, say if you put 10,000 on and another guy put, and now you've got 1.2 million, it weighs out the other side. And that's when you start seeing the odds move. Okay. So if you put, let's say I put 10 grand on her right now, whatever odds it is, do those odds lock for me or do they change too? Those odds lock for you, but they move for the betting public afterwards because they want to, it's like a bank. It's like a bank wanting to like cover their own ass if they lose, you know?
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know this shit.
Yeah. NG on
this motherfucker.
I like to bet.
Only if he's fighting New York Rick or somebody. Shit.
Yeah. But for this one, Eddie, I'm going to take Manon Fiorot. I think she's fought better competition, even though Jasmine Jasudavicius has been in there with former champions like Jessica Andrade. I think that the well-roundedness of Manon Fiorot might be too much in this one. I like the kickboxing of her at distance. I'm going to take her by decision, especially in a 3-round fight. But if Jasmine does pull off a victory, I think she's probably going to do it by submission.
I like Jasmine. I think by just her momentum alone, fighting at home, she's one of those that gets up for fighting at home. She loves fighting at home, and I think it's gonna be one of those things. Now, Manon Fiorot did train at TriStar this time around in Montreal, which is hilarious. People are like, well, "How's she gonna go to Canada? She doesn't speak English." Montreal is French Canadian speaking people, so relax. Okay, she was just at home. She was right at home, minus a few rude people. Let's put it that way. You guys remember that shit? I get in touch with the biggest scam ever, and then like she's leaning like this, and Bullet's like, "Are you sure you want me? You sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that?" What's that one dude that goes like, "Are you sure about that?" That motherfucker, boom, head kick, done. And then like and again, we got to get off this thing because we're actually out of time. But we got to keep moving. But Jessica I at the warm ups at the open workout, she was like, "When I say what is it, evil, you say I or something like that," and like no one says shit. I was like, oh, that's gotta hurt right in the crotch.
So, Eddie, there are some fights ahead of the next matchup we're going to talk about, but I think of all the fights left on this card, including the prelims, Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant is the one that I think is the sneaky, maybe fight of the night contender here. Charles Jourdain fighting at home. Very well-rounded, good on the ground. We've seen him submit guys like Lando Venata, also good on the feet. He did struggle against top-of-the-spear competition like Gene Silva in the past. Going to be facing a dangerous individual, even by his nickname, Dangerous Davy Grant, coming in here. He slings leather hard, right? He's got the big left hook. He's got the one-punch knockout power. He's kind of like a barroom brawler almost from a sense back in like transferred from back in the early MMA days to here now. There is a good jiu-jitsu game from Davy Grant, but he likes standing in the pocket and trading leather. And I think Charles Jourdain is going to do just that with him.
This is like stepdad versus baby daddy, okay? Davy Grant met this girl in college, got her pregnant. They have 4 kids. They love each other. Boom, finds out she cheated on him. And somehow he's the bad guy. He gets kicked out of the house. She gets to keep the house. And here comes Charles Jourdain with the tattoos and the biker shit and the bike and all the funny stuff and all the kids love him and shit. Here comes Davy Grant going, I got to get my kids back, bitch. You ain't shit. Let's go. That's what this fight is. Crafty man Davy Grant is going to put hands on Charles Jourdain because Davy Grant don't back up for nobody. He's the most unassuming motherfucker ever. Like if you look at Davey Grant, bad motherfucker does not even come up to mind. You think, oh, okay, he probably drives a minivan or some shit like that, right?
He's an accountant. Yeah,
he's a bad motherfucker. All right, yeah. I like Davey Grant in this one. As much as I would like to see Charles Jourdain and his brother fight on a card together at some point, Davey Grant's going to end this one in the second round by knockout.
I mean, Eddie, I'm kind of thinking the same way. Charles Jourdain puts himself into dangerous situations like we've seen with Dean Silva, and Davey Grant makes people pay for putting themselves into dangerous situations. That's basically the story of Davey Grant's fight game. So I think this one plays into the hand of Davey, even though this is at home for Charles Jourdain. I'm going to take Davey Grant just like you by knockout, but this is my sneak pick for fight of the night if it's not in the main event.
100%, dude. And you were who was that? Was it Perez? Yeah. No, Perez.
Paul Daly, but yeah.
Bro, the second I read that, Brad Pickett came to mind.
Brad Pickett, yep.
Brad Pickett was a bad motherfucker.
Ross Pearson.
Ross Pearson was a bad dude till he started fighting guys 2 feet taller than him.
Dan Hooker was a bad boy, or I'm sorry, Dan Hardy was a bad
Dan Hardy was a bad dude till he got Wolfhart. Jimmy Manuel was a bad motherfucker until he started thinking he was a wrestler. So like, dude, all these English guys, like they just know how to fucking sling hands. It's fucking so much fun. That's why I like Tom Aspinall so much, because he can strike and he can wrestle and he can do everything. But his hands are fun as hell. But yeah,
his hands in the heavyweight division.
Easily.
Eddie, is there another fight on the card that you think fight fans should be paying attention to this weekend before we head out?
Scroll down very quickly. No.
Torres Finney is the real best.
Motherfuck no. Nope. Hell no. Nope. Now we're done. We're good.
Hey, this one, Asmat Bakoyev versus UC Bedwari. UC, I believe, is a former world champion kickboxer who beat Alex Pereira. I just was at Asmat Bakoyev's last fight in UFC Iowa. He knocked out Ryan Loader. He knocked out Ryan Loader, former NCAA All-American. This is going to be a good fight. I don't know if Asmat Bakoyev is going to take him to the ground, but he probably should, considering the experience of Blagorin, how do you pronounce this guy's name? But I think it's to be interesting.
It's all right. Torres Finney is the real best slugger. If he's slugging sandwiches, my boy. All right, because that dude's big as shit.
Have we even seen him throw a punch?
No. He goes. He's got magnet on his nose to the crotch. We're good to go for it. No, this is gonna be interesting to me. Just off the height. It's a 5-inch fucking difference, dude. Like the face-off's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be fun.
I don't know. I kind of thought that too, but if this guy's a real world-class technical level striker, I mean, he might need to show another facet of his game, but he did look good against Ryan Loader and TK'd him. KSI has a devastating hairline, my guy. That's what that shit is. That motherfucker wears anything he can to cover his hairline. How do you have dreads and bald at the same time?
I'm telling you, it makes no sense.
He's got a hairline worse than mine.
I'm 39. My hairline's supposed to be right here, but I ain't bald, motherfuckers. I shave my head every week. I get people giving me shit about my head. I'm like, nah, I can do this, no problem. KSI refuses to remove his fucking headband because he had that. Who's that little Kevin Hart wannabe? The dude that screams on the streams all the time. That's all he does. He's like, that guy sucks. Okay, but like he's not okay. Maybe he sucks to me because he's not funny at all. All he does is scream. But he had him on there, and he made KSI take his head. I saw this clip on YouTube. Take off his fucking headband, and they started clowning him immediately. And I'm like, yeah, KSI, don't fucking ever take that shit off ever again, bro.
Yeah.
Just shave your head, be bald. The fuck? You're not young.
Yeah. I mean, some people can pull it off. Shit, half the dudes who run our sport are bald. Fucking Joe Rogan, Dana White.
Joe Rogan's taking so many L's these days. Outside of the cage, too. But either way. Anyway.
Did you see his interview with Mark Kerr? I was going to put that in the notes. Mark Kerr did the Joe Rogan podcast. Did you listen to any of that at all?
I can't listen or watch Joe Rogan anymore. Talk about fucking anything, and it's a problem because I just can't because I think he's a fucking dumbass, and I think everyone kind of bought into him. Oh, he's a smart guy. No, he is a good interviewer. Does not make him smart. But anyway,
Eddie, when you're sitting around smoking pot with your boys back in the day, or you're drinking beer and shit, and there's always that one guy who's like, yeah, he's like he's got some good idea. But then you realize that you're all fucked up and, in a normal situation, that guy would be the idiot. It's kind of like he's the king of the
Hey, we could do a whole show on just clowning Joe Rogan. Hey, he deserves everything he has, 100%. I don't even dislike him. I think he's great. I just can't listen to him talk because he's stupid.
Did you see Rogan lose all that weight?
Fuck yeah. That was wild. How crazy was that?
No, I think he had to get on all those anabolics to play Mark Kerr. And
he gained a bunch of weight.
He came out, he just fucking stopped.
Well, dude, he had to take so much. He gained like 30. Didn't he gain like 30 pounds of muscle just off of that? Dude, can you imagine the kind of damage your body takes when you blitz it with steroids to get that much size in time for a fucking movie? Right? Because he has health issues now. He's got some cardiovascular or some shit or other from what I read. And then so he had to cut the steroids. And so the deflation was way more dramatic than it would have been had he not taken steroids. It is what it is.
Mr. Beckham. He's the fourth guy during a pass around.
Hey, I read a lot too. I'm not sitting here telling you to vote for who and vote for this guy and do this shit and giving RFK any kind of props. Fucking warm brain bitch.
Have you seen Smashing Machine though yet, Eddie?
I was going to, and then two of my friends that went to go see it, they were like, "Yeah, wait till it comes out on stream." And I'm like, "Fuck!" So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait till it comes out on. I'm gonna watch the doc first. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna wait till it comes out on stream, but I'm gonna watch the doc on one day and the movie the next day. That's how it's gonna go because I want to make sure I have that reference to work off of. But I want to see it. I totally want to see it. Insanely obese. Well, pretty.
Rocky.
Well, I mean, hey, look, you see Rogan?
You guys
Rogan
are on one tonight.
No, but Rogan has a belly under those abs because of the HGH, because it grows your organs. So HGH will grow your organs, and so it's pushing everything out. John Holmes, the real Smashing Machine.
All right, you guys.
Please come back next. Hey, all you guys, please come back next week. This is way too much fucking fun with y'all here.
We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll bring you guys any instant analysis and breaking news coming from this fight night in Canada on Saturday, and then we'll also preview the cards moving forward, whether it's the PFL, UFC, or any MMA action that we got for you guys. Join us next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We'll be here. See you guys next time.